It's been a chilly day today. It's been raining on and off. So the weather calls for soup and I want some chicken foot soup. I know it's not for everyone, but I love me some chicken foot soup. So after I washed, cleaned it, cut the nails off, gave it a little manicure, I ended up putting in the pot. I let it cook up for a little bit until any of the grimish stuff comes off of it. Then I added in my pumpkin. I added in my onions, my garlic, my pimento seeds, and I just let that cook up until the pumpkin is soft. Once it is soft, then I start mashing the pumpkin down. I mash some of it down. Sometimes I don't mash all of it because it starts to break down anyways. After I let that cook up for about 20 minutes, I then add in my spices, my seasonings. So I add in some green onion, also known as scallion, and then I add some thyme, some chocho. I add in some carrots and some green peppers. And I let it cook for about another 15, 20 minutes. Reason being is because the chocho and carrots, they do take a little bit longer. So I want to cook that up for a good amount of time. After I cook that up, I want to add in my dry soup mix. So it's the cock soup and the chicken noodle soup. I add both those in, but I shake out the chicken noodles. I do not like when the noodles itself are in there because I find it's just way too soggy for me. I don't like it. Next up, I add in my potatoes. I don't have big potatoes. I only have the small potatoes, but potatoes are potatoes. I wash and cut those small potatoes up in half, and I add those into the pot. I did have Scotch bonnet. Well, I thought was Scotch bonnet, but the package says hot peppers, but it looked like a Scotch bonnet to me. But I added that to the pot and let it bubble up a little bit. I did have some corn that I made the night before. So we're just reusing what I have in my fridge. So I just cut up the corn that I had and I added that in. Once I let that cook for a little bit, I added my seasonings, but I didn't add too much of the seasonings because it still had a really good flavor. I just added a little bit. Again, you let that cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. And then I added my dumplings in, just quick round dumplings, flour, salt, a little bit of sugar, and some margarine. That's what I do. And I add some more water and mix it up. And here is my soup. Here is my bowl. I did cut some of that hot pepper and add it in. And yummy. Let's eat.